Jai Hind viewers, welcome back to another episode from our platform. Today we are going to talk about indigenization in aerospace and defense, unlocking India's potential. In this episode, I will talk about the importance of indigenization, the opportunities and challenges, and the path forward. Indigenization is important to every nation in the world because it adds to the GDP of the nation and improves its global standing. It gives the nations a technological edge. The question we must ask ourselves is, are we doing everything needed to make it happen in every possible way within our country? We are aware that original equipment manufacturers, whether they are based within the country or abroad, always look for vendors to manufacture components and spares of their equipment. And there's a huge potential in India, especially in the MSMEs, where we can, if we can tap it, then it would mean that our vendors will be developed within the country. So this is the reason it is so important to look at this potential which exists in our nation. However, in this whole process, connecting the MSMEs, their capabilities to the OEMs, and making a large vendor base within the country, one factor which comes in as a sort of a hurdle is the process of certification. If certification becomes possible, then and if along with that, if we can assure the quality by assisting the MSMEs, then the possibilities are immense. The issue of certification is especially complicated when the OEM is based abroad and the certification is not easily accessible to the MSMEs. It is slightly easier in the case of Indian OEMs. For example, HAL is having a vendor base within the nation where they look at this aspect and the vendors are able to give them quality products. If we are able to handle this, then we can look at OEMs and products in land, air, and sea, and especially in the case of maintenance, repair, and overhaul, we can then become a global power. There are very positive signs that something like this is already happening, especially because recently we have seen warships from foreign navies coming and docking in Indian dockyards for their maintenance work. This underlines the competence of our OEMs and our vendor base. The innovative ability of the Indian MSMEs is something which we really need to tap into. This aspect of indigenization, especially when we are looking at the smaller sectors, smaller manufacturers, is globally being faced. And even in developed countries, funds are being established, processes are being made to tap into this because it's a huge potential which can contribute to the nation's defense and must be utilized, should not be left. Every possible step should be taken to remove all the hurdles which allow our MSMEs to contribute to the national aerospace and defense. As I said earlier, the major hurdle is that of certification. And if we can have an enabling environment for our MSMEs, then we can really have a very huge effect on the not only on the national level but also at the international level. So it really boils down to harnessing the collective ability of all our citizens, especially in MSMEs, and make a mark on the global scale with the innovation and the capacity held in these MSMEs. That's all for today's episode. Jai Hind.